Hey guys, welcome back to another competitive league challenge video here on the channel. In today's video we are going to be having another battle between two of the gym leaders over on our Discord server. So let me actually just address that real quick. First things first, the Discord server, or rather the competitive league challenge is the name, there we go, of a Discord server that me and some friends, let me turn this off, there we go, that some friends and I have got together and created. The server is is dedicated to competitive style Pokemon battles in a gym leader format. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, but we do have all 18 types represented in gym leaders now, as well as having an Elite Four system now. So yeah, definitely come check it out. Link to the Discord servers down in the description. One of you guys will be our champion. The champion is, of course, not final. You'll, battle each other, etc. once the time comes for that. But right now, we don't have a champion. Come see if you can beat us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Once again, link to the server down in the description. Oh yeah, if the way the things aren't, the rosters and all that, if those don't quite make sense, then please do just watch a little video that will be shown in one of those little circular icon thingies. Linked in one of those circular icon thingies during this video, which will take you to like the first video on the series where I actually do just address exactly how the server works in terms of the gym leaders and whatnot. And yeah, kind of running out of time, which is why I feel like I'm rushing all this. But anyways, guys, without further ado, so this is a battle between our This is a battle between our ice, or rather our electric and ice gym leaders. So the electric gym did challenge the ice gym, I believe. If I'm mistaken on that, sorry guys, whatever, doesn't really make a difference. So here are the rosters. First, the electric type roster. She has a Magnezone, a Rotom. So the Rotom is represented here as the base form Rotom, but it can be any of them. A Raichu, Eelektross, Dracozolt, Toxtricity, Heliolisk, Galvantula, Morpeko, Boltund, Pincurchin, and Vikavolt. I believe there's been some changes to these rosters, but I honestly don't know what those changes are. Or Vikavolt, rather. But, so yeah, since I don't know what those changes are, I'm not going to worry about it. Off the top of my head anyways. The Pelipper, I believe, is no longer a Pelipper. It's now a Togekiss, but she didn't bring it anyways, or nor would she against the Ice-type gym, so I'm not going to worry about making that change. But yeah, anyways, bonus for Pelipper, Bronzong, Incineroar, and Dragonite. And then on the other side of the field, we have the Darmanitan. Of course, Galar Darmanitan, the monster itself, the Mamoswine, Ice-Q, Cloyster, Ninetales, Sandslash. Very good, very, very interesting core there of Ninetales and Sandslash. They work really well together, of course, with the Snow Warning and then the Snow Rush. Or Slush Rush, I think it's called. Then you have the Weavile, Frosmoth, Crabominable, Glaceon, what's that thing called? Avalugg. Avalugg is a monster now that it gets body pressed, by the way. And the Cryogonal. And then bonus 4 up here. This guy likes his broken stuff, which we might have to address in the future because his bonus 4 are stronger than the rest of his entire roster, but whatever. Clefable, Cinderace, Azumarill, and Aegislash. Like, there's nothing that keeps him from having those bonus 4, right? But maybe that'll have to be addressed in the future. We'll see. We will see. Anyways. Looking at these teams, first things first, so what would I, as the electric type gym, expect the ice type gym to bring? Personally, I would not expect the Cloyster. Although I do know that this guy loves this Cloyster, and his Cloyster is a broken Pokemon. I would personally not expect the Cloyster. I would expect the Mamoswine. Just, ground type, obviously. Honestly, other than that, though, nothing really screams at me like it wants to come, right? Like, presumably the Ninetales is coming for that Aurora Veil, for that speed as well. The Sandslash does get Earthquake. Most of these Pokemon do not get Earthquake. Crabominable could come for that reason, because it does also get Earthquake. Now, of these bonus 4, it really is up in the air. Azumarill, personally, I would expect the Azumarill, because it does oh no, sorry, this is Electric Gym. Does not resist. Scratch that entirely. I would expect a Clefable because it's just nice and fat and bulky and annoying. kind of might expect the Aegislash for the priority. You can see the Electric Gym's roster doesn't have that much priority in it. But either the Aegislash or the Cinderace presumably is coming here. Now, as the Electric Gym, with that in mind, I would probably bring Rotom Heat. I mean, it's just, why not? Rotom Heat covers every single Pokemon on the opposing side of the field really well here. It has Will-O-Wisp for the Mamoswine. I would make it physically defensive, I want to say. Maybe. I mean, Cloyster gets Rock Blast, right? And if it is a Rock Blasting Cloyster, maybe you bring Rotom Wash, just because in case he does want to bring that Cloyster. So you do have some way of living a hit. Physically defensive Rotom Wash probably lives a +2 Rock Blast. Although don't quote me on that. And it definitely lives Icicle Spear and Liquidation. Also, I'm pretty sure it deals really well with the Darmanitan. Although Rotom Heat also does really well against the Darmanitan, right? So I really don't know. Cloyster is just a big problem, so is the Darmanitan. They're the biggest two scariest threats, right? You do need something for the Mamoswine, though, and of course the Rotom Heat doesn't actually punch through the thick fat, so all things considered, might actually bring the Rotom Wash to this one. Having the Levitate against the Earthquaking Sandslash, for example, would be really nice. But yeah, I really don't know what to expect from the Ice-type gym here. So presumably the Weavile is coming for that speed. No real reason to bring the Avalugg, I believe. Chrominal, I think, does get Earthquake, but it's such a shit Pokemon. I personally wouldn't expect it to come. Yeah, I would definitely, if I had to pick 4 Pokemon to bring as the Ice-type gym, I would go, or 6 even, 6 Pokemon to bring, I would go Darmanitan, Ninetales, Abomasnow, sorry, not Abomasnow, I hope I haven't been saying Abomasnow, Mamoswine. Yeah, Darmanitan, Mamoswine, Cloyster, Ninetales, Sandslash. Like, Cloyster is just a good finisher, right? Just makes sense. I would bring the Ninetales and Sandslash combo in case the Electric Gym did bring the Alolan Raichu. Like, Assault Vest Sandslash, I'm sure, is quite powerful. So, yeah, Ninetales Sandslash with Assault Vest against that Alolan Raichu, for example, in case electric terrain and stuff and that kind of shenanigans is about. I'd probably do that. And then as a bonus 4, I honestly wouldn't worry about them too much and just bring the Clefable. I think all in all, that's probably fine. The electric side of the field doesn't really have Stealth Rocks or anything. Aside from that Bronzong, I believe none of these Pokemon can actually do Stealth Rocks. So, I mean, you do have the Galvantula for Sticky Web, but I don't think that's relevant, that is that relevant at the end of the day. So I wouldn't worry about bringing the Cinderace myself. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here for sure. Those are the 6 I would personally expect. Again, not expecting the Cinderace, Azumarill, or the Aegislash, but I would expect the Ninetales Sandslash combo, the Mamoswine, Cloyster, and the Darmanitan, and that Clefable. Now, with that in mind, on the electric type of, on the electric side of the field, I would personally bring I'd definitely bring the Magnezone. It does very, very well against every Pokemon I've listed off so far, right? One of its 2 stabs is always super effective. So, well, except against that Sandslash, but it can trap in the Sandslash and then hit it with a Hidden Power Fire. So you probably make it Air Balloon at that point, so you can make exactly that play. Trap it in with Magnet Pull, and then it can't Earthquake your Magnezone with the Air Balloon, and then you can just Hidden Power Fire and take out the Sandslash. Then you probably bring I'd imagine you probably bring the Electros for that Flamethrower coverage, and just because it's a really good bulky Mon. You probably bring the Bolton with the Fire Fang. You bring the Morpeko. You maybe bring the Morpeko. It gets Seed Bomb for the Mamoswine, which makes it really tempting. But that being said, it actually gets outsped by a lot of things, so we might not want it. I mean, after you get a couple Oral Wheels off, it's a really powerful Pokemon, but I honestly, in this specific matchup, I'm not sure that you want to bring it. So you definitely bring the Magnezone, the Electros, and the Rotom Wash, I would say. And the Bolton. I think you do want to bring the Bolton. But bonus 4, you definitely bring the Incineroar, right? And you presumably you bring the Bronzong. So those are the 6 I would probably take. So not bringing the electric terrain to this one. Definitely don't think the Raichu excels here by any means, for example. Just too many specially bulky Pokemon on the other side of the field. Too many things it doesn't OHKO. Focus Blast alone Raichu, however, is really interesting. So maybe that is a consideration to keep in mind, but I don't think this is I don't necessarily think this is a an electric terrain matchup, although I could be completely wrong. I feel like when you're playing for the electric terrain, you have to worry less about type advantage, and you just want to hit things hard with rising voltage, right? So yeah, definitely for sure there. That is also a line you could do. So either those 6 I just described, or the same 2 bonus 4, but then you bring Pincurchin, Alolan Raichu, Galvantula, honestly, at that point you want a Galvantula, and probably just Dracozolt, so you have a strong physical attacker there. But then you're not bringing the Rotom Wash, so I don't know. Maybe you bring the Rotom Wash instead of the Bronzong in that scenario. Because, I mean, you of course want the Bronzong for Stealth Rocks, but I'm really not sure. I guess that is a reason to think that the Cinderace might be coming. If she does bring the Bronzong and gets up the Stealth Rocks, then that's Focus Sash broken on, for example, the Cloyster and stuff like that, so it could be a rough time, you know? Alright guys, but with all that in mind, I think, yeah, those are your 2 options as the Electric-type gym, and that is kind of what I suspect the Ice-type gym would do, just from that position. Alright, let's get into this battle. Alright, we're here for the battle. So, the Electric Gym did in fact bring the Galvantula, the Rotom Wash, the Morpeko, the Bronzong, Boltund, and Incineroar. So did not bring the... let's see. Did not bring the Electros, did not bring the Magnezone. I think not bringing Magnezone is definitely, and again, Air Balloon Magnezone specifically, it's definitely a problem. Because you can see on the other side of the field, they did in fact bring the Ninetales, the Clefable, the Cloyster, the Sandslash, the Mamoswine, and the Cinderace. So the Cinderace did come, and so did that Bronzong for the Stealth Rocks. So it makes sense that the Cinderace would come then. But no Avalugg to spin the rocks away, so interesting. Like, I'm sure that the Cinderace has Court Change and whatnot, you know? But I'm definitely just in, like, awe that, like, not bringing the Magnezone with the Air Balloon means that Sandslash, if it ever comes in, can kind of wreck shop. It's bulky. I mean, I don't think that it'll necessarily be an Assault Vest Sandslash, although that is a set I personally would really want to try. But we're here now. So this is the situation we are in then. I'll swap over the teams here, but I feel like the Electric type gym, I feel like her not bringing the Magnezone here is definitely going to come into play. Although I believe they've had friendly matches in the past where Magnezone didn't really do enough, which I'm assuming is why she didn't bring it, but Magnezone over this Bronzong probably is what I would have gone with. Honestly, over the Morpeko. I think the Morpeko is a greedy pick here, but I understand why she brings it for sure. And if she can get it off, the Morpeko is going to do some work. For damn certain. Like, it has Seed Bomb, right? I think I might have said Energy Ball in the team breakdown. I meant Seed Bomb if I did. It has Seed Bomb for this Mamoswine if you can predict the switch in and stuff like that. The Galvantula with the Sticky Webs is really interesting as well, etc. Anyways, guys, let's get into this then. Let's swap these around. So, Ice-type Gym leads with the Cinderace against the Incineroar here. Good leads for the Electric-type Gym. Fake Out does a little bit of damage to the Cinderace there, but then swaps out for some reason. Just hard swap into the Rotom Wash, take the U-turn, goes out to the Clefable. Clefable is annoying as hell. Everybody on the server kind of hates Clefable right now, but it's fine. Goes back out to the Cinderace on that Thunder Wave. Just goes for the Zen Headbutt. Does a reasonable chunk of damage there. Rotom actually manages to paralyze the Cinderace, but the Lumberry heals that off really nicely. Now the U-turn just comes in after seeing how little Zen Headbutt did. This is definitely a physically defensive Rotom Wash. Thunder Wave, yeah, it doesn't work because it just went back out to the Clefable here. Tries for a Hydro Pump, but this looks like it's the specially defensive Clefable. Hydro Pump does basically no damage, right? The Moonblast does a lot to the Rotom Wash and drops the special attack here. But the Rotom Wash does now just reveal Pain Split, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Pain Split goes off. Heals itself back, nearly up to full. Teleports back out to Cinderace on the Clefable side. Not sure why you would do that. I'm guessing assuming a Volt Switch is coming out from the Rotom Wash there to try to get some initiative. But now you're in this position again where the Cinderace can't really touch the Rotom Wash. Does just go for the U-turn once more. I'm predicting that, yeah, the Rotom Wash just goes for the Volt Switch. Now here, I believe this to be a misplay personally. Clefable gets Soft Boiled and Wish, so I don't really see why you would go out to the Bronzong at this point. You really, I think, should just go out to either the Morpeko or the Boltund. Just force this Clefable to go down, because if you don't take this opportunity where it's already at 40% health, And you saw how little it was taking from special attacks also, so you have good reason to believe at this point that it's a especially defensive Clefable, rather, instead of being a physically defensive one. So going out to a strong physical attacker there, taking out this Clefable, I think would have been very valuable. Instead, just goes out to the Bronzong to presumably get like Stealth Rocks up or try to get a Gyro Ball off. Gyro Ball does connect with the Mamoswine here. There we go. That 40% on the Mamoswine actually doesn't do that much. I wonder if this is a min speed Bronzong. I'm assuming it would be. But I'm actually surprised that that didn't do more damage. So this is probably a max HP Mamoswine. Mamoswine does have a ridiculous amount of HP. Now here, surprisingly to me, just willing to take another Gyro Ball to get up these Stealth Rocks here. But they actually just end up trading rocks, which I think is a perfectly valuable play on the electric sides. On the electric sides, from the electric side's perspective as well. There we go. Managed to spit out the words. Gyro Ball brings it down to Aguav Berry range, so it does look to be some kind of bulkier Mamoswine. And you saw that the Mamoswine, let's replay this time. The Mamoswine did go for Earthquake, testing whether it was Levitate or Heatproof. Not sure why you would ever run Heatproof there, so I wonder if that was a misclick or a misplay on the Ice-type side of the field, on the Ice-type gym side of the field, but so be it. Aguav Berry means that another Gyro Ball will not kill this Mamoswine, but he does decide to just swap out to the Cinderace. Toxic, very unfortunately, does miss the Cinderace there, and the Pyro Ball takes out Bronzong. Again, not really sure why you would stay in with the Bronzong and not simply switch back out to the Rotom Wash. Although if you do, the Rotom Wash does just go down, but at that point, I suspect you just have to take the L on the Rotom Wash. Now, it goes out to Bolton. Bolton is naturally faster, you can see, by 5 points than the Cinderace. He knows that the Cinderace is not Scarfed, so Crunch just takes out the Cinderace here. Not sure why you go for Crunch there, instead of going for the... not sure why you go out for the Crunch instead of going for the Thunderfang there, but I killed anyway, so I guess that, all things considered, doesn't actually matter. Mamoswine comes in against this Bolton. Bolton goes for the Fire Fang, which is another slight misplay, I believe, on the electric side of the field. From that damage, so Mamoswine does get Thick Fat, right? So that super effective hit actually was not super effective. So with that in mind, given that it did do... Oh, God, sorry about that, guys. Given that it did do 30% damage with the Fire Fang, Fire Fang being 15 points weaker than the Crunch, I believe... Let me do some quick maths. So, Crunch is base 80, Fire Fang is base 65. Crunch would have done about... It would have been a roll. I think Crunch would have... Like, Mamoswine would have lived the Crunch on 1 or 2%, but Crunch was definitely stronger there. So, Fire Fang, not doing enough to the Mamoswine. Mamoswine quite easily on this Bolton with the Earthquake. In comes the Incineroar, trying to get the kill with the Fake Out. Does get the kill quite nicely there. So it is heavy-duty boots Incineroar, might I add. Now, Ninetales just sets up the Aurora Veil. Flare Blitz fails to get the kill, just barely, sadly, for the Electric-type gym, of course. Now, Rotom Wash comes in, just gets sacked off to this to the incoming Moon Blast. I'm not sure why, to be honest, but fair enough. At that point, honestly, I would have just let the Incineroar take the hit and take out the Ninetales. Now, Galvantula is just barely slower, 2 points slower than the Ninetales. Blizzard, I believe, leaves it on 5%. I was going to say takes it out, but just leaves it on 5%. Hail cleans up. Very interesting turn. Let's just analyze this a little more in depth here. So, by making this play, the Galvantula does get the Sticky Webs up, which is really important against, for example, the Sandslash and the Cloyster here. But that means that the Ninetales is still around. Also, stalling away this Aurora Veil is quite a big deal. Just goes back out to Incineroar, presumably just going to Fake Out again. Fake Out does take out Ninetales, so good play on the Electric Gym part. The Electric Gym is up against the ropes now, though, with 2 mons left against the other 3. Flare Blitz connects with the Cloyster, but does nothing through the Aurora Veil. And Cloyster just gets to Shell Smash up here. Even though it's only at +1 speed, that's still going to be plenty to outspeed the Incineroar here. Liquidation, I actually did not realize that it got. Why did they need to buff Cloyster even further? Right? Cloyster's Cloyster used to be UU, I believe, because it didn't have any good water-type stab. But since Gen 7 and the introduction of Liquidation, now it does in fact get that physical water-type stab. Because before it only had like Hydro Pump and Surf. Now it does get Liquidation. Incineroar goes down, Morpeko comes in, and suddenly the little Nibbles is not fast enough this time around to take down the Cloyster. And that's the end of the game. So, on that note, guys, very, very, very close game on. I know it didn't really seem that way, but if a couple turns had gone a little differently, I do believe that the electric type gym could have easily taken the victory there. Couple turns to mention, I believe, was when the Bronzong went down to a Pyro Ball. At that point, you just suck off your Rotom, I think. Or honestly, even go out to the Incineroar because. Sorry about that. Honestly, at that point, just go out to the Incineroar because the Incineroar intimidates the. Just intimidates the Cinderace coming in. It still takes a lot of damage, I'm sure, but I understand you want to keep around your fire type, but I believe your steel type is more important, really, because aside from that Cinderace, I don't see any answers to that Bronzong on this team at all, right? Like, the Cloyster presumably can kill it, but if you Toxic Protect stall it, I don't think one singular Liquidation kills if you're physically defensive with the Bronzong, although it didn't seem like it was, but I'm really not sure. It very much depends on what that set was. Anyways, I think that was the defining turn. Also sacrificing the Rotom Wash to the Ninetales instead of just trying to take it out with the Incineroar. And when the Cloyster was coming in, you really had to ensure that your Galvantula was out, I believe, because you were already breaking a Focus Sash with the Stealth Rocks. And if you had your Galvantula out, you could just Thunderbolt it and keep that from happening, right? I don't know, though. Again, it could have gone either way. Very, very good game. Thanks to both of you guys, both Matt and CallMeKH. CallMeKH, I forgot to mention, he is Nameless Boy over on our server. He actually came to us as a challenger, and we didn't have all 18 gyms full yet at that point, so he became a gym leader. He's been wrecking shop. I believe he's going to be Elite 4 next week. So congratulations, dude. Nat, really good game again. Thank you guys for letting me... thank you for letting me, put up these battles. Nat, so you guys don't get the wrong idea, Nat is a really good battler. She has been doing really, really well. And I know both of the videos I uploaded were losses. That's what happened at the end of the day. In the next one, I'm sure I will put her... I'm sure I'll put her, a win for her or something maybe, but she's had plenty of those. Don't you worry. And she's really, really, really good. So once more, thank you guys both. And yeah, link to the Discord server down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope had to mess up right at the end, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll join us in the next one.